Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. Hope everyone's doing well and ready for the weekend. Hope you guys are staying warm. Pretty much the entire North America is like, what do they call it? That Arctic blast. Like everyone's in that Arctic blast zone, whether they're just getting super cold weather or snow and ice. We had some snow and some ice and some crazy sub-zero temperature, not sub-zero, but like below freezing temperatures here in Georgia. And this weekend's going to get cold as well. They're talking like it's not going to get higher than like 35 for the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. But then all next week, we're going to be in the high 70s with tornadoes. So yeah, I don't know which one's worse. But anyway, appreciate everybody checking out the channel. And this video, I'm just going to do a rehashing of my Death collection on vinyl. I did get a somewhat recent edition Record Store Day last year, which was what, like April. I got the Record Store Day exclusive from Death, so I can add that to the collection and show that. Haven't shown that before. And I did a Death albums ranked, my favorite to least favorite Death records, which love the band, so kind of like splitting hairs. But did one of those a few years ago when Relapse Records did the reissue. I want to say they reissued most of them in 2020, and I had them all by 2021. I think it was. I did the video maybe 2022. I'm not really sure, but I was able to pick up all those Relapse reissues, and I tried to get them from some record stores. I got a couple from the Relapse Records website, but got some from, I got the rest from local record stores here in Georgia and in Alabama as well. So I like to try to do that when I can, support local record stores because they support me, right? Anyhow, this is my Death collection. Like I said, most of them are those Relapse Records reissues, but a few of them aren't, and one of them is kind of a rare white vinyl, which I'll tell the story about that one when I get to it. But love the band Death. Got into them probably like maybe junior, senior year in high school, somewhere around Individual Thought Patterns when it came out. Leprosy was the first one I listened to, and for a long time was my favorite one. That has changed. One reason I don't want to do the ranking again is my rankings haven't changed. Symbolics is my favorite Death record. That'll never change. Just absolute phenomenal album. But for a long time, when I was in high school, the ones I had released up through 93, Leprosy was my favorite one, but I love the band. And unfortunately, I didn't become just a huge fan till well after Chuck had passed away. But Death's my all-time favorite death metal band. Just great. It's Chuck and then other musicians. We all know the story by now. If you're a Death fan, just there's a handful of guys who just had a few. They were on a few records, but there weren't too many guys that were on more than one. But just absolute awesome band. Love the way Chuck wrote the riffs. I love the lyrics. I love his vocal delivery. Almost every album, the vocal delivery is a little bit different, but you can always tell on every one that it's Chuck. I love the guitar riffs. The solos are great. Headbang to it. Just it's to me, it's everything I love about death metal. And there's a lot of death metal bands right now that I'm just not into because they just don't have that formula that I like. But Death has it, and pretty much every death metal band that's do now kind of has that same type of formula with it. And I'd say Frozen Soul is that next great death metal. There's a lot of great death metal bands, but I think Frozen Soul is just better than all their peers right now. And I think they're going to be that next massive death metal band like Death is. But let's get right to it. It's my Death albums on vinyl, kind of rehashing my collection, adding on my Record Store Day exclusive. So let's get right to it with the debut album from Death. Scream Bloody Gore came out in 1987. Love the album cover, iconic album cover, iconic logo. Doesn't matter which part of the Death album, excuse me, which part of the Death logo you see, whatever part of it, whatever letter, it's a Death record. Death logo, which is awesome, iconic, most badass logo in heavy metal. And this is a Relapse record reissue. And what I like about these is you get a lot of those kind of like, I call them home video style photos, just like candid shots of Chuck just kind of sitting there, and then some live shots of them playing and rehearsing the album, and then the album, some lyrics. And then the inside of the inserts is basically the inserts of all the CDs I had growing up. But I really like these like kind of candid shots, I think it's pretty cool. And they did a really good job of putting those in each of the records. In each of the record, they get a little bit more, professional, if you will. But the debut album, Scream Bloody Gore, different color labels, which I think is cool with the Scream Bloody Gore guy on the label. And this is on red, blue, white, kind of gray, clear pinwheel, really sharp looking. Really wish I could have got my hands on some of the demo cassette tapes, but I've heard a few of them, but I don't own any. So this next one is not a, well, it is a Relapse record, but it wasn't that particular reissue. This is Leprosy from 1988, and this is a gatefold, and this is basically, like I said, with the other one, just the CD I had, that's what the inside looked like. But this one right here is a 2 LP set. It's just on clear with 2 different color labels. And there's the Leprosy guy on each side, but just clear. So that's pretty sharp looking. And for the second LP, it's just rehearsal, demos. So Open Casket, Choke on It, Left to Die, Pull the Plug, Born Dead, Forgotten Past. And songs like Choke on It, Left to Die, and Pull the Plug and Open Casket, you get multiple versions of those songs, just rehearsal versions and demos. But then the first LP is the actual album. So probably, in my opinion, the heaviest Death record. Maybe this. I don't know. I hate doing that, but to me, that's the heaviest Death record. And then now this one is the Relapse Records reissue, and it's going to have the same thing as the other ones. It's going to have just those photos on the insert, more photos like that. Really, really cool stuff. Just Chuck and his buddies, the other guys, the musicians in the band, hanging out, playing live. Stuff like that, and then the insert is just typical one we all know from the CDs. This is on pink, blue, white, and gray splatter pinwheel. I don't have any OG Death on vinyl. They're hard to find and super expensive, but whenever I can find a different version, I try to pick it up. Next one we've got is 1990 Spiritual Healing. Perhaps, I don't know, Scream Bloody Gore is right up there, but perhaps probably the coolest of the album artwork in Death's discography. The evangelical guy trying to the Leper Messiah guy, I guess, if you will. And I don't remember his name, but the dude on the cover looks like that guy that was crying on TV. I had seen he cheated on his wife with a hooker and got caught or something like that. That's what the dude looks like to me. But more of those cool photos. I really think Relapse Record did an excellent job with these photos, man. I really like these. I can look at these, put the album on the turntable behind me, and look at these photos for a while. It's just different than your typical this on the insert. You can kind of look at these and just, I don't know. To me, that just makes it cooler. And I really like the documentary. If you guys haven't seen that documentary on Amazon about Death as well, this is the pinwheel splatter, black, blue, red, white, and gray. But if you haven't seen that documentary, check it out. A lot of these photos are from that documentary. One thing that I thought was really cool about Chuck is, he had a vision. He didn't stray from the vision. And like I said, every album sounds a little bit different, from the guitar tone and riffs to his vocal delivery, but you can tell it's Death. And, he wasn't just a death metal fan. He liked, 80s hair bands. He liked thrash bands. He liked just all genres of heavy metal. So the next one we got is Human from 1991. And this one, I want to look at the insert real quick. Just check it out. Yes. So this one's a little bit different. You got some more of the same kind of photos, but you got some of the handwritten lyric sheets from Chuck. And then, of course, the album cover. And Steve DiGiorgio is on bass on this one. And I wanted to mention that for the next one. It's on white, pink, blue, red, and black pinwheel. Next one we got is Individual Thought Patterns from 1993. And I mentioned Steve DiGiorgio for a reason, because on this one, on the photos, this one comes with some backstage passes, some tour flyers, And then there's the lyrics, but there we go right there. If you can see it. It's Death with Sadus, and that was a band that Steve DiGiorgio was in, and their latest record's badass. This one's on clear, red, white, green, brown, pink vinyl. There's a picture of Chuck, and then there's Death on that one. So a little bit different than the other ones. And like I said, these are all the Relapse Records latest reissue, which I believe, could be wrong. I didn't actually look again before I started the video. Could be wrong, but I think it was 2020, maybe 2021. I did that ranking where I showed all these albums from my old house. So it's been probably just a little under 2 years since I've done that, maybe. So the next one is Symbolic, my favorite Death record, and it came out in 1995. And this is on Metal Blade Records. And this one's got pretty much just who the band thanks and pictures of the guys and then the lyrics. But this one's on white vinyl. And I remember when I was looking for this album on vinyl, it was a really, really beautiful white copy. So when I was looking for this one on vinyl, I was trying to find it. I was having a hard time finding a copy on vinyl. I didn't want to get black vinyl. I wanted to get something cool. But I was having a hard time finding it, and white was the one that kind of stood out to me the most. And couldn't find it. It was on Discogs. I just really didn't want to pay the price they were asking. It was kind of hefty. And just one day happened to me, and I don't buy records on Amazon. I can count on one hand how many times I bought a record on Amazon. But I was looking on Amazon for something, and I do buy a lot of t-shirts on Amazon. And I was looking on it, maybe it was t-shirts, I don't really remember what I was looking for, but down the bottom, I scrolled down, and it was some records, and just kind of scrolled through, and this album was on there. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out, because I haven't been able to find it, and lo and behold, it was advertised as a colored vinyl variant, and it was sold by some record store somewhere in like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, something like that. So it didn't say what color it was. But I was like, you know what? It's colored. And I went back to Discogs and looked. I was like, I'm going to buy it. It was only $30. So somebody didn't do their due diligence and know what they had in the white one. And imagine my surprise when it came in the mail. I opened it up, and there it was, white version. So pretty badass. Love that one. It's probably my favorite Death record in the collection thus far. The next one is the last studio album by Death, Sound of Perseverance. Came out in 1998. This one is on Relapse Records, but it is not the most recent reissue. This is actually, yes it is, but I want to show that one after. So this one is a trifold, if you will. It is not the most recent Relapse Records reissue. And then you've got no insert. This is it right there. Just the guys in the band and some lyrics and stuff like that, and who the band thanks. And this is 2 LP set on olive drab green, which is really, really sharp looking, really nice. The video doesn't do it justice of how kind of sharp looking it is. And basically this one is the album, and then you get the demo. So the second, actually it's a 3 LP set. The first 2 LPs of the album. The third one is just demos. You get Spirit Crusher, Flesh in the Power It Holds, Voice of the Soul, A Moment of Clarity, A Story to Tell, and Scavenger of Human Sorrow, all demos. So really cool reissue there. Don't know when that came out, but this one is the Gatefold Relapse Records, the most recent reissue. Same thing there, just a Gatefold. And these are two LP, just the album, no demos, but they're 2 different color pinwheel. This one's black, kind of clear black and orange. And then the second one just kind of, and a little bit of red in there as well. The second one just kind of replaces the black with red. So you get black, clear, the clear with the black, orange, and red pinwheel right there. So pretty cool. And then last, but definitely not least, is the Record Store Day exclusive from Relapse Records, which came out this past Record Store Day. I stood in line, and I was really far back in line. I was nervous. I wanted this one, and I wanted the Shadows Fall, and I wanted the Motley Crue Helter Skelter picture disc. Feel it's a different color, different kind of texture, and then the logo is kind of raised up. You can feel it with your hand. And it's just the best of Death. And it is on really sharp looking dark blue. splatter, black and white, really, really sharp looking, just like the green Sound of Perseverance. The video does not do it justice. It's awesome, awesome, awesome looking record. And yeah, like I said, Record Store Day. Wanted to get this. I saw it on the website. I always go on Record Store Day's website and kind of see what's being released, see if there's anything I want. And I went. I've only gone a couple of times. I usually kind of get them maybe later on. I took the chance this past Record Store Day, which is Black Friday, and I got something from the record store that I went to in person and got this, but I got it online and he mailed it to me. But for this one, I went in person. I was way far back in line. I thought I got there early. Little did I know that people get there when it's still freaking dark. I got there like an hour and a half before the store opened. I was way in line around the corner, but the line moved really quick. Lucky for me, everybody was able to get the freaking Taylor Swift record. So I walked in and I was able to get the 3 records I wanted. So anyway, that's my Death, collection on vinyl, kind of rehash with the addition to the Best of Record Store Day exclusive. What are your favorite Death records? You go back and find the video where I do my ranking, but I'd love to hear what you guys, what your ranking is, what's your favorite Death album. So once again, appreciate everybody checking out the channel. Kind of a cheap way to do my first real video of 2024, but I promise I'll have some more cool stuff coming to you. Want to do some more reviews this year than I did last year. Want to review the latest Raider album, which is Trial by Chaos, which is on my Best of 2023. But it took forever to get to me. I pre-ordered in April, and it literally just came like last week. So I want to do my review of that record. Raiders is badass. Death thrash band from Canada. Awesome stuff. Got a lot of other stuff I want to show you guys as well. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Check out the channel, and I have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers.